pace of the sickness. Farmers are calling that heavy-handed. I'm Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-830-4914. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-830-4914 or biglou.com. That's 800-830-4914 or biglou.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Snow comes to an end overnight, but clouds remain in place as it turns colder after 3 to 6 inches of snow with a low of 12, followed by more intermittent snow and flurries for Sunday and into Sunday evening, but colder with a high of 17, then cloudy and cold Sunday night with a low of 13 before a few flurries on Monday, high 21. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The following is an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli.
Pennsylvania is widely cited as the only state without recurring property reassessments. That leaves the task to counties, which produces infrequent and inconsistent reassessments. Some counties haven't had an assessment in decades, resulting in huge disparities between former and current market values. Can you say sticker shock? The last thing Pennsylvania homeowners paying high property and school taxes need is a new assessment and an even higher tax burden. The situation demonstrates how fiscally inept and inefficient state government can be. State lawmakers not only need to pass legislation requiring reassessments every 5 or 10 years, but also phase in any significant tax increases to give property owners a break. Doing that would be one way to atone for the gridlock in Harrisburg that delivered a state budget months after it was due.
This has been an editorial by KDKA Radio Senior Vice President Market Manager Michael Spacciapoli. To view a transcript, go to kdkaradio.com.
Rob Frax on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
We begin this Sunday morning. The shooter remains at large after the University of Brown reversed an earlier alert that said that one person was in custody. A shelter-in-place remains this Sunday morning after 2 dead. And as you heard CBS Radio News update moments ago, it went from 8 to 9 wounded in critical condition in the local hospital. Look, it is time that we in America face facts. We have an epidemic that is, well, larger than just about anything we have dealt with in any generation. Gun violence and mass shootings and, well, anger, which is now boiled over to where we have lost 2 more and 9 are fighting for their life. It is not about gun control. It is not about gun ownership. It is about mental illness in this country, which once again continues to be a plague that is something that walks amongst us. But it's also time for us to lean into law enforcement and to the judicial system. And when it comes to crime and punishment, something has to be done with those who perpetrate these crimes. And if this gunman is found alive, we must once again face facts that we have to show others who are thinking such horrible thoughts that there is something that you will pay the price for when committing a crime like this and judged by a jury of your peers. And once again, I believe, in my humble opinion, life imprisonment is one thing, but the death penalty, again, has to be considered another thing. How many more lives are we going to have to lose? Innocent people just going about their day-to-day routine and gunned down in cold blood for no other reason than simple hatred and anger towards society. I don't know about you, but I have gotten to the point where I literally just can't believe how this epidemic of gun violence continues to stain our streets and literally make families for generations mourn the loss of these individuals who no one including every single friend and family member, would have ever thought on that fateful day that they would lose their life in a hail of gunfire. When this story broke late last night from the home studio in Monaca, I started thinking, how do I talk about it? What approach do I take? Because it's become such a big part of my everyday broadcast career. Not every week, not every month, not every year, but every day. And it seems it's gone from hours to minutes to seconds that once again, this becomes a national headline. Violence in America, anger, hatred, it seems to be commonplace. How, if any way, do we reverse it? Is it even possible? I'm not so sure, but I do know one thing. We need to find a way to stop those who are killing our family and friends. All right, the other story, the weather. You know, we were telling you about it all day yesterday. We got Andy Amrine waiting in the wings. He's been at EV True Value since right after midnight, and they got about 7 inches there. We got just about the same in Monaca, and I'm sure a lot of you are dealing with the exact same thing. I'm being very proactive, got up a little bit early, got into the sled, that Chevy Equinox, and came slip-sliding away into work. 40-plus years I've been fighting these battles, and I know how it works. But I want to thank Allegheny County Road Crews, PennDOT, incredible road crews out there. You're just going to have to give yourself a little extra time. As you heard, CBS News, top of the hour, the weather is changing. Snow is pretty much tapered off, but the icy conditions, and this is what we're going to talk to Andy about in just a little bit, that temperature is dipping in a big way. To give you an idea, when I left my house in Monaca, it was 29 degrees. By the time I got to Green Tree, it was 15. So with the snow on the ground, the cold weather, and obviously the moisture from some of the melting products, now you've got that thin layer of ice and obviously chunks of ice as well that were once snowflakes. So just if you have to head anywhere today, give yourself a little extra time. Stay with us at KDK and, of course, AccuWeather, National Weather Service if need be. And we also have Mary Hours. She always joins us in the first hour on that first alert forecast on our Sunday morning. So we're going to keep you abreast of everything that's happening with the weather, and I hope that you will stay tuned for that. Now, another story. Two U.S. Army soldiers and a U.S. civilian who was serving as an interpreter were killed after shots were fired at U.S. and Syrian forces on a mission to a historic central town in Syria on Saturday. U.S. military officials said President Trump said that there will be a very serious retaliation after the attack, which he attributed to the Islamic State. Once again, Venezuela, Russia, Ukraine, bad blood vibes right now with that Chinese government because of what's happening with the tariff wars, and obviously even countries like Mexico slapping them with tariffs. When you look what's happening in the Middle East, this peace agreement hanging by a thread. Obviously, the fear of something happening with Vietnam and Taiwan. And it just is such a part of our headlines. And as I told you years ago, back in February of 2020, when this coronavirus came from China and broke out and spread like wildfire around the world, it would be fighting that invisible enemy and then trying to hang on for dear life once it was all said and done. And it is a powder keg everywhere around the world. And the president is doing everything to bring peace, but every time he reaches out that olive branch, it seems as though, once again, more anger, more violence. And this is a story that could flip a switch that could get very ugly. So we'll stay on top of that as well, along with CBS Radio News. David Bolorado coming up in just about 45 minutes with that 6 a.m. news. So the weather, big story, that Brown University shooting, what happened in Syria. We've got it all for you, and we always invite your conversation at 866-391-1020. And we're going to be talking about Barry Weiss, the conversation with the widow of Erica Kirk, CBS Town Hall last night. We're going to focus a lot more on that in the 9 o'clock hour today, but a tremendous job by her as well. And she, of course, from our beautiful community that is Squirrel Hill. And I do want to take a little bit of time and wish everybody a happy Hanukkah as that begins today as well, too. So we got lots happening on the show today. Stay where you're at. We're with you till 1 o'clock. It's your Pratt Pack on KDKA. As always, you can listen to us at 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, but you can also watch us online with our KDK video stream presented by Metropolitan Window Company. Just go to kdkradio.com and click on Watch KDK Radio Livestream, and now you can just go to KDK, our YouTube page, and see everything that's happening in the studio right now, like me shivering. It is cold outside. Right now, our temperature is 14 degrees, and that wind is kicking up. All right, 866-391-1020, or don't forget instant access to our shows. NASCO Roofing, the presenting sponsor, just a click away. Email us at instantaccess@kdkaradio.com. We'll be back in just a moment. Good morning, your Pratt Pack.
For a taste you've never experienced before, call Jones Turkey Farm today. At Jones Turkey Farm, birds are all natural, free roaming, with no additives. To find out more, call Jones Turkey Farm at 724-352-2450 or visit jonesturkeyfarm.com.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-1 set winners over number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four. Pitt basketball not as fortunate. They lost to Villanova 79-61. Elsewhere in regional hoop action on the collegiate level, it was Ohio State defeating West Virginia 89-88. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State loses to the Spartans 76-72. Robert Morris a winner over Toledo 75-70. The Dukes in Nevada, they lost 78-75. In overtime, it was the Pens losing to the Sharks 6-5. They take on Utah today. College football, Mount Lebanon native Eli Heinrich scored, and Navy had a thrilling 17-16 win over Army. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. He, of course, from the number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, and the Steelers in Miami tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-830-4914. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-830-4914. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914.
Tune in to 1020 KDKA Radio for Medical Frontiers with Dr. Gerald Pfeiffer from the Allegheny Health Network every Monday from 7 to 8 p.m. Dr. Pfeiffer and his special guests will cover the information that you want to know about your health and the latest trends in medicine.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, another story breaking moments ago, another mass shooting as it just doesn't end. A mass shooting during a Hanukkah celebration at Bondi Beach, Sydney, Australia, Sunday has left at least 10 people dead and 11 others injured, according to authorities. The New South Wales Police Force confirmed on X that 10 people were killed in the shooting, including one of the suspected shooter. The second alleged gunman is in critical condition. At least 11 others were injured, including 2 police officers, the agency confirmed. So let me just say this. You know, Hanukkah, the celebration, obviously 8 days, the Festival of Lights, just mentioned it moments ago, and no sooner did I mention that than Fox News and others, CBS, breaking this story right now. Mass shooting, Hanukkah celebration. What are we going to do in this country when it comes to the bitter hatred and the anti-Semitism that continues to just spoil our lives on a regular basis? The ugliness, the just horror of these stories. I mean, the Tree of Life Synagogue shooting just seems like yesterday, and you keep thinking that we learned something from it. Can we turn the page? Can we be a better society? Can we be better human beings? Can we teach our children and grandchildren? And then this story today, of all days, as Hanukkah is set to begin, people just celebrating their faith, family, friendship, and gunmen take it upon themselves to commit a horrific crime. While peace in the Middle East, as I said just moments ago, hanging on by a thread. Our society is just warped, sad. What are we teaching future generations? How are we going to be able to move forward to a better place in this world when we continue to have these type of stories? I mean, it's almost with disbelief as I'm just mentioning Happy Hanukkah to everyone, talking about this incredible holiday that is set to begin. Talking to my friends, many of them in that Jewish community that is Squirrel Hill right here in Pittsburgh, and still reeling, thinking about family and friends that are lost because of the Tree of Life shooting. And now we're talking about this today. If there is not evil that walks amongst us, then you tell me what continues to happen worldwide with the anger and the just murderous, blood-curdling screams that people have to witness in situations like this, that people are looking to just celebrate their friendship, their families, their faith. And this the start of Hanukkah. Again, we'll have much more throughout the morning with CBS Radio News and David Bolorado, but I can tell you that Fox, CBS, and others reporting at least 10 dead after a mass shooting during a Hanukkah event on an Australian beach. Gun violence worldwide, hatred, anti-Semitism. Please pray that it stops. All right, let's get Andy in here. He joins us now, Metropolitan Window video screen. He is at EV True Value, where he has been shortly after midnight, working all bundled up. And as you can see, if you're watching this stream, and you'll hear him, probably his teeth chattering live, he's outside of EV True Value in Bethel Park, where they had 7 inches of snow. So, Andy, it's all about, I guess, today, looking at everything from ice melt to pushers, meaning shovels, and heat holder gloves and hats and socks, because everything winter can do, that mixed bag of tricks, we've seen it over the last 24 hours, have we not?
Yeah, I died here since about 2 o'clock this morning, and got 7 inches of snow in Bethel. A lot of guys have been out all morning. But yeah, I'm assuming it's another jam-packed like it was yesterday, with your shovels and your salt and your holders. And it's going to get cold, though. It's cold outside right now. You're going to be getting a lot of frozen pipes probably tonight into tomorrow, so we will watch ourselves, making sure your fire kitchen are open, the heat's circulating through to make sure all those pipes don't. But as far as the morning, it's just removing all the snow and getting some salt. Everyone's safe, moving around their road. I know Bethel's crews have been out all night, and our roads are clear. Can't speak for the other communities.
All right, Andy, let me jump in here, buddy. Just like the weather, your Wi-Fi, your computer has frozen. So I want you to disconnect, as we like to say in the business, and I want you to phone in on the studio number, and we'll get you back on here for a couple of minutes, and we'll kind of reset everything, okay? Listen, it's showbiz. It happens, and it's cold outside. I was shocked that we even got a picture of them up on screen, and then I kind of figured this crazy weather that the Wi-Fi might not be working as well, and it wasn't. So just like the frozen temperatures, his video screen froze as well. So we're going to get him on the phone line, and we'll have a chance to get caught up with him and talk a little bit about this weather. Hey, while I have a moment, let me just tell you, if you're headed anywhere today, give these snow plows an opportunity to do their job. As I mentioned, Allegheny County, great job with the snow removal. The city of Pittsburgh doing an epic job as well, too. And PennDOT, as always, come through with flying colors. Can't say enough good things about those individuals at PennDOT who've been helping me plow my way into this radio station during inclement weather since the mid-'80s, and today was no exception. So it was just nice to be able to get to work today. I actually got here on time, left at like 3:30 in the morning from my house, and pretty much standard as far as the drive in. There were a couple of rough spots off the interstate, but once you get up on the interstate, it's pretty much smooth sailing. So, again, we'll have the latest throughout the morning as far as our news is concerned, CBS Radio News, as well as, of course, David Bolorado, who is in the KDKA Radio Newsroom. So we'll handle it all for you coming up throughout the day right here on KDKA. I'll tell you what we're going to do. What do you think about maybe taking a quick break, and then we'll reset and we'll get Andy in here. So let's just jump out now, take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is, how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won. A lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Beckett's amazing. He's a miracle child. In the mornings, he'll wake up and he'll roll the shades up and, Dada, it's time to get up. It's a bright, beautiful day.
He started getting dizzy. At the first of the year, he started going, I have to sit down, I'm dizzy, Mommy. A month after his 3rd birthday, he got diagnosed with ATRT brain cancer. All you can think of is, the kid's not gonna live. The fact that St. Jude doesn't bill is a godsend. And the fact that we don't have to ask for help here makes things a lot easier to go through what we have to go through with Beckett. The fact that they are researching and they are saving these children, it's so important. We wouldn't be where we are without St. Jude, and in turn, we wouldn't be where we are without those people that have donated. They're the reason why my son's still alive.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are.
If you're at school having a bad day, you just don't want to do anything.
I just get these thoughts like, do better. All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed?
He's just in tears in the huddle. Yeah, I was like, what's wrong? And he's just like, I'm just so frustrated, and I didn't know what to do.
None of my undergraduate studies talked about mental health.
Teachers need tons of help.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Only 1 in 5 people with disabilities, including those with autism, are employed, despite many having the skill set and desire to work.
Maybe it's because employers don't know what kind of jobs they can do?
Okay, try me.
What about a programmer?
That is a job for someone with autism.
What about a teacher?
That is a job for someone with autism.
Oh, how about a healthcare worker?
Yes, those are all jobs for someone with autism. The truth is, qualified people with autism can do a lot of different jobs, but often get overlooked due to outdated stigmas and beliefs. Businesses value diversity, but sometimes don't recognize the unique strengths and abilities of the autism community. Introducing WIN, the Workplace Inclusion Now program by Autism Speaks. We help businesses lead the way in inclusive hiring.
Ooh, what about a ranch hand?
Yeah! Sure, that's a job for someone with autism too. To learn more, go to autismspeaks.org/win. That's autismspeaks.org/win.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country. and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
It's the third annual Edgar Snyder and Associates Holiday Hoops Classic on Monday, December 22nd at PPG Paints Arena. It's a full day of exciting high school basketball. 4 games, starting with an 11 o'clock matchup pitting Carrick against Alderdice, and ending with a clash between Mars and Peters Township. It's brought to you by tobacco-free Adagio Health. High school basketball lives on 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. After yesterday's shootings at Brown University that left 2 dead and 9 wounded.
We want to make sure that we catch the individual that brought so much suffering to so many people.
Rhode Island Governor Daniel McKee. President Trump vowing to retaliate after the attack in Syria that killed 2 U.S. Army soldiers and their interpreter.
The new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria.
And Syria's Interior Ministry has just said the gunman was about to be fired from the security forces for extremism. And moments after a Tokyo-bound jet took off from Washington Dulles Airport.
Pilots on the Boeing plane notified the tower they were returning immediately.
Dulles Tower, United 803, emergency.
It lost power in one of its engines. CBS's Christopher Cruz says there were no injuries. The FAA is investigating. CBS News Brief, I'm Vicki Barker.
Tune in this Sunday morning at 8 for the Coons Cooking Hour with Rob Pratt and the Coons Market team when they discuss Christmas dinner traditions and memories. It's the Coons Cooking Hour, presented by Coons Market, your hometown Pittsburgh grocer.
Have you been told there's nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that is not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like Janie from West Homestead. Janie's neuropathy pain limited her activities to where she couldn't stand long enough to cook a meal. She feared she might need a wheelchair. Then Janie found Tri-State Neuropathy Centers. Their effective FDA-approved treatment program greatly improved Janie's neuropathy, and she considers her decision to use Tri-State Neuropathy Centers as a wise investment in her health and future. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers helped Janie, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 724-940-9000. That's 724-940-9000. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred roofing replacement contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Through the overnight, look for snow to gradually wind down following 3 to 6 inches of accumulation, leading to a colder night with a low of 12. Then Sunday brings the coldest air of the season as snow and flurries continue at times into the evening with little or no accumulation and a high of 17. Cloudy and cold Sunday night, low 13. Then a few flurries Monday, high 21. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, back with your Pratt Pack, and we've got Andy back on the line. So, Andy, now we've got you locked in. Let's talk about winter work gloves and insulated workwear, all sorts of things, space heaters, insulation for the windows, doors, snow removal, ice melt. Go right ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, it's a busy time of year for us, Rob, with the cold weather, and tomorrow morning is going to be super cold. So you got to prepare for it. So, you know, if you want to talk space heaters, my favorite's the oil-filled heaters, but there's a lot of different heaters. The biggest thing is safety on heaters. You can never, ever plug a heater into an extension cord, or even worse would be a power strip. They got to be plugged into the outlet using those space heaters. And as far as frozen pipes, you can insulate those pipes with fiberglass wrapping, with foam wrapping, you know, or you can use the heat cables. The heat cables work very well as long as you remember to plug them in. A lot of people come in, oh, my pipe froze because I forgot to plug in the heat cable on it. So you got to remember to do it. And, with your furnaces working overtime now, make sure you have a clean filter in that furnace and change the batteries in those digital thermostats. They're only good for about 6 months max. And a lot of people will call a service tech and say they have no heat, and they come in and charge you $100 to change batteries in your thermostat. So make sure your thermostats are prepared for it. But I've been outside all morning, and I dress for it. I dress the layers on it. But in particular, my favorite gloves and hats are the Heat Holder brand. Boy, they are just insulated and they work really, really well. So snow blowers, trying to get your snow blower started. The biggest issue is people use gas with ethanol in it. That's a huge no-no on small engines. So you need to be using ethanol-free gas, whether you're buying it bulk at a gas station or you're using the True Fuel, which is our favorite because a can of True Fuel, that can sit for a couple of years and still be good, where a gallon of regular gas with ethanol, that's only good for 3 to 4 weeks. And that's where the snow blowers and the chainsaws and the blowers really come into issue because the gas goes stale using regular ethanol-based fuel, which is what you put in your car, and it's fine for your car. It's not fine for your small engines itself. So window kits, window insulation, door insulation, more tight is probably the most common removable rope-type caulking. Been out for over 100 years. It's an amazing product that you can fill gaps around windows and doors and then remove it come spring when you need to use those entryways on it. So there's a lot you could do for preparing for the snow. Bethel, we got 7 inches, and it's beautiful outside, but I've been outside all morning cleaning the snow and getting ready for our customers. First customer was about 3 o'clock this morning. And it's been nonstop, loading all the plow trucks and taking care of those early morning customers that are coming in for supplies of salt shovels, snow blowers, True Fuel, insulation, or, this afternoon the kids are going to want to go sled riding, so stop by and pick up a sled. But, Rob, it's a fun morning. We love this kind of weather, that's for sure.
So calcium chloride, rock salt, how do they play into today's weather?
Okay, well, the rock salt is only good to about 20 degrees. You get into magnesium, it's good to about 10 below zero. You get into calcium, you're good to about 25 below zero. Your rock salt is, right now it's probably okay, but as it gets colder, it's not going to be effective. Plus, rock salt will destroy concrete. Then rock salt also kills plants and also is very harmful to pets. Your safest all-around product is your magnesium. Your magnesium-based products are your pet-safe product and plant-safe products. And with them going down to about minus 10 degrees, that's my product of choice. We use calcium when you have big ice dams that you want to take care of because it does work the fastest. But calcium also will hurt pets and also hurt plants. And you cannot use calcium on decking material like Trex deck, but calcium is safe for your concrete, and it does go super cold weather on it. So know the product you want to use, but my favorite all-around product is your magnesium-based products because it's safe for the environment, safe for everything, and it does work below zero.
So when it comes to the cold, what's worse? Snow, ice, a little bit of both? I think what we had happen over the last 24, which could develop into the next 48 hours, is something you don't want. You don't want a layer of snow, and then you don't want the temperatures to dip because you got layers of ice underneath that snow, so you're going to get the double whammy.
Yeah, the ice is the killer. Not a lot of people can move in ice. Your four-wheel drive vehicles don't work in ice either, so ice is always the killer. Snow is easy to remove. It's okay to drive on, but you get that freeze thaw and you get that layer of ice down. It's going to be pretty dangerous for everybody. So, you got to be careful out there when it comes to ice and black ice, of course.
Any shortages out there, Andy, of stuff?
Not yet. We're early in the season, so we went through, 2,000-3,000 bags of salt product yesterday. and we have a couple thousand more bags in stock, and I got truckloads coming in tomorrow. So you're going to start dwindling on snowblowers and shovels here probably later on today. But the salt products were still very plentiful. That's not going to say that come January, if the snows continue and the demand continues, that always seems to be the case that, come the end of January, early February is when we start getting shortages of the product. But as of now, there's still plenty in the pipelines for us.
This is basically typical winter weather, right?
It is. This is a typical winter weather for it. So, I love it. I love the cold. I love the winter weather. So my wife stays indoors and doesn't do much this time of year.
All right. Well, listen, be safe out there. We appreciate your time.
All right, Rob. Thanks.
All right, there he goes, Andy Amron at EV True Value. When the weather turns bad, turn to KDKRadio.com for up-to-the-minute news, weather, traffic information from the KDK Radio Storm Center, brought to you by Duquesne Light Company, larger than light, only on the voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA. All right, here's Joanne, Point Breeze. Good morning, Joanne.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Rob. The first thing I'm going to start off with is God Bless America.
And turn that radio down, please.
I turned it off. I know that the NRA, these people are not missing a meal. Production, you're talking about production, it's probably alive and well. The guns, we had guns, but they used them for hunting the four-leg animals, and they used it for food. But these people now are using these guns for two-legged animals. And then people didn't understand, and they forget that when 12 and 14-year-olds can get guns, you knew there was a big, big problem there. The other thing, the main thing I may want to call and talk about is putting your head in the stand, in the sand. For years and years and years, we have not been telling the whole truth. Now, I'm going to start off with there's other things I'm going to use, but I'm going to start off with the Catholic Church. When I was a young girl, years and years ago, when I heard about what was going on in the Catholic Church and things that were going on with these children, and people were putting their head in the sand, and people just don't want to face reality. They don't want the truth. That was the same thing when you talk about slavery and what people did and how hard they worked to help this country, to make it was a beautiful country at one time. Now it's far from that. There's a little bit of everything in this country, and most of it is negative. Coming in school, we never heard the truth. And now we're going on with this thing with this guy that's in the White House and Clinton. We knew they were doing stuff. We knew they were taking advantage of these young girls. And, we put our head in the sand and say, oh, don't worry about it. We've been putting our head in the sand for years. And you know what? It's going to come back to we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everything comes to a head, and it will. And this rough, tough, we're so wonderful in this country. Yes, you need to have a certain amount of carry a big stick and walk softly. But what we have now is rogue, and everybody else is following, trying to follow the United States. So what kind of peace can you have? I mean, there's a lot of other things I want to say, but I'll end also with God Bless America. Stop putting your hand in the sand. Tell it, I know you don't want to tell the truth because it's too hard, but everything I've said and been on this station for many, many years, I've told the truth.
All right, Joanne, hope you got it out of your system. I want to get a break and come back. Mary Hours waiting in the wings with that first alert forecast. That's next with your Pratt Pack on KDKA.
It's the little things. The information you need. People you know. The little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-1 set winners over number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four. Pitt basketball not as fortunate. They lost to Villanova 79-61. Elsewhere in regional hoop action on the collegiate level, it was Ohio State defeating West Virginia 89-88. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State loses to the Spartans 76-72. Robert Morris, a winner over Toledo 75-70. The Dukes in Nevada, they lost 78-75. In overtime, it was the Pens losing to the Sharks 6-5. They take on Utah today. College football, Mount Lebanon native Eli Heinrich scored, and Navy had a thrilling 17-16 win over Army. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. He, of course, from the number 1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, and the Steelers in Miami tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. More sports, 93.7thefan.com. Tune in to KDKA at midnight on Christmas Eve for a special Christmas Mass from Queen of the Rosary Church Saints Joachim and Parish. Christmas has special meetings, and this annual Christmas Mass broadcast is proudly presented by Rome Monument, a company that knows about special meanings. As the Tri-State's largest memorial company founded by Michael Diagardi, Rome Monument is a 4th-generation family-owned business. Their special Christmas gift is providing a Christmas Eve Mass broadcast on KDKA. Merry Christmas from the Diagardi family.
Folds of Honor has been meeting Sacrifice with Hope since 2019 in Western Pennsylvania. It's their honor to empower people through education and the opportunities it creates. 41% of Folds of Honor scholarships are awarded to minorities, making recipient families as diverse as the country we call home. Folds of Honor has earned the Gold Star Platinum Seal as well as a 4 out of 4 stars ranking on Charity Navigator. You can become a Folds of Honor wingman today at westernpa.foldsofhonor.org. Please donate today. Spitzer Toyota of Monroeville is a proud supporter of Folds of Honor.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, just the person I wanted to talk to, just like the rest of us, up early getting ready to do what we do. I've been battling these type of storms for 40 years, and you've been doing it for a while, too. So we got what we said we got, not just as much snow, but some cold temperatures as well. I mean, this temperature's dropped 15 degrees since I came to work this morning, so it's going to get crazy, right, Marianne?
It is. I mean, the roads are just not great whatsoever. I mean, if you don't have a car that's good in the snow, I would avoid the roads for sure. It's just hard to keep up with, when we have just still some snow coming down and then temperatures are dropping. I mean, we have wind chills right now below 0. So it feels like 2 degrees in Pittsburgh right now. So this is going to be the trend all day. We do have that winter storm warning going until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So we'll see those snow showers taper off, but then areas to the north are then going to see lake effect snow showers now with that wind shift. So then some snow squalls possible for areas to the north later today. That's why there's that lake effect snow warning for areas to the north. And then that's going to go all the way until tomorrow morning. So places like Grove City, Hermitage, Sharon, Franklin, Oil City, snow's not done for them yet. They could pick up an additional 2 to 4 inches with those bands of snow. Otherwise, I mean, we're still in a cold trend for the week. But, yeah, we picked up a lot of snow through yesterday and this morning.
Well, you guys were spot on with this, and the snow came, but the cold weather, that's what's going to be the real stumbling block here to kind of start the week. The cold temperatures, and obviously with the accumulation on the ground, it's not a good combination.
No, everything's going to freeze over, and it's just, if you don't have salt on the sidewalks or even in the parking lots, anything, it's going to freeze. I mean, the snow that's out there It's going to stay there probably until about Wednesday. Wednesday, we get back to the 40s, and we're actually in the 50s on Thursday with rain. And then we'll stay slightly above average as we head into the end of the week and weekend into the 40s. So we just have 2 more days left of this. Cold mornings coming Monday and Tuesday at the bus stop, still in the teens. And, yeah, it's going to be cold.
So as quick as it came, it's going to go.
Yeah, we'll see these wrap up here pretty soon, but we'll still be left with the snow.
Mary Irish, KDKA Television this morning, First Alert Forecast. Mary, thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you, too.
All right. Hey, listen, for one night only, Wednesday, December 17th, our Odyssey Pittsburgh station, 93.7 The Fan, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, 100.7 Star, WAMO 107.3 Y108. We'll be flipping the turntables and turning Mike's Beer Bar into the biggest Christmas karaoke spot on the North Shore, where our on-air host and local celebrities take to the mic for celebrity karaoke. There is no admission cost, but bring canned food donations to support North Hills Cares. Details at KDKARadio.com. Also, Catholic Education Plus coming up within the hour after local news at 6:30. The Christmas show this morning, plus various choirs from Catholic elementary schools and high schools. That's Father Tom Burke coming up in just a little bit after that 6:30 news. Look, I got to tell you something. I have been through a lot of different storms in my lifetime, but I don't think I've seen the temperature drop as much as it has in such a short time. So I think what Mary said is sage advice. If you really don't have great snow towers or you don't really have the need to go anywhere today, I would basically stay home and do nothing, okay? Now, some of the big stories we've been reporting on other than the snow, and David Ballarado will be along with more in AccuWeather, of course, as well, top of the hour, and we'll have the National Weather Service if need be, but it looks as though the snow, the worst of it's over. It's just going to be the crippling cold temperatures that we're going to have to deal with, and we had a chance to catch up with Andy, and he was talking about everything from calcium chloride to rock salt to if you're going to be out in the elements, make sure that you dress appropriately, okay? But 2 dead, Brown University, 9 wounded, and 10 people have been killed in a Hanukkah celebration. A mass shooting has taken place on a beach in Australia. So those are the 2 big stories, along with the snow, obviously, here regionally. So it's been a very busy morning. If you want to jump in here before we get out of here and get ready for Tech Vibe Radio and then Catholic Education Plus, give me a call, 866-391-1020. Here's Bishop in Denora. Good morning, Bishop.
Well, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And we got a new year coming up. But I want to know, Brother Pratt, what is wrong with this world? Here we had two soldiers killed over in Syria, several others injured, not coming home. We're on the verge of going into, and I wonder what the government's going to do about that. These are soldiers, American soldiers, heroes, college kids. There's a kid that got killed in Kentucky State just the other day on campus by an angry parent. 2 kids and others seriously injured in Brown University. Not coming home for Christmas. Can you imagine how these families are feeling? Something ain't right in this world. The culture, even in this country, we're having some serious problems over here, Brother Pratt, and my heart grieves for these ones that's losing these young folks. That, in my opinion, Mr. Pratt, are still innocent personalities and heroes. And here we are about to put troops in harm's way and wanting to try to go into Venezuela. Now listen, it is a drug problem everywhere. All right, not just in America. But I will say this one thing. Fentanyl does not come from Venezuela, which we have a large problem in western Pennsylvania, in particular in my area, all right, the Mon Valley, etc., come from China. But we ain't going to deal with that, all right? But I will say this, let's try to enjoy each other and protect each other and look out for each other, because we got a problem that if we stick together, we can make it.
But Bishop, let me ask you something. Where's it coming from? Where's all this hatred coming from? I mean, it's everywhere you look. I mean, it's just...
That's the problem. And I don't know where it's coming from. This is the unhealthy culture in the world and in our country who we try to thrive on democracy and freedom, etc., and we have certain luxuries, even though sometimes they be strange, but to take a person's... Mr. Pratt, it just hurts me. These kids, Why are we doing that, going on to these campuses, whether it be high school or the colleges, and killing these kids? Why? They're trying to learn. They're not harming nobody. And you go there to cause mass disruption and killing them. And these parents are in, let me be honest with you. Yes, you may be able to get through it, but you don't really get through it, Mr. Pratt, in my opinion. That's devastating. These kids are studying for their final exams. I check on my kid every day up at Buffalo State to make sure he's in safe, the whole 9 yards. And for these kids, and some of them are still hung up, at Brown University, Mr. Pratt, still hung up and can't get out of some of their dorms or can't get out of some areas that's still locked down at Brown University. That's a tragedy here in America. That shouldn't be happening. So I'm praying for everybody. Let's stick together and let's finish out this year strong. Thank you.
All right, let's get Ron in here. Ron, I only got about 2 minutes. It's all yours. Go ahead.
Thank you, Rob. Rob, as far as the drug file in Venezuela, that's not the reason we're going into Venezuela. If the drugs were the problem, Trump just pardoned who was the president of Honduras, who smuggled $500 million worth of cocaine into this country, and he bragged. He said, "I'm going to shove it up the noses of the American people," and he made all that money. And Trump just pardoned that criminal. And if you say we're trying to stop drugs, what is he doing there? Is he in cahoots with that drug gangster? The only reason we're going into Venezuela is to steal their oil, steal their rare earth minerals. We're going to put our sons and daughters in harm's way to enrich the Trump family. I say no blood for oil. Thank you, Robbie.
All right, good call. Appreciate it, Ron. Listen, we're going to get you set for the news with David. Lots of stuff happening, the weather being the lead locally. We got, as expected, about 7 inches of snow overnight. And as they said, AccuWeather and others, as the temperature would start to dip very early this morning, and that's exactly what's happened. And you heard Mary Hours say we're about 2 degrees above zero, wind chill below that. And obviously because of the accumulation, the snow, the moisture now turning to ice, very treacherous conditions out there. PennDOT and others trying to keep up with it, but it is a tall task for sure. So we invite you to stay with us. We'll continue to give you the latest throughout the day with our news, top and bottom of the hour, and of course the AccuWeather forecast, and more importantly the National Weather Service if need be. But we just kind of get through the next couple of days, as Mary said, and then things are going to start to bottom out. And we actually are going to be in the 50s later in the week. So again, if you don't need to go anywhere on this Sunday, best advice, just kind of throw a log on the fire, kick back, keep the radio on, and just stay warm and stay safe on the inside. And hopefully once the sun does come up, things warm up a little bit, and also we give these PennDOT trucks an opportunity to get some stuff out there and get these roads in a better working order, because right now it's not just the secondary roads. Some of the major arteries are just as bad as well. So stay with us. News coming up next, and we'll be back at the 7 o'clock hour with Doug, the organic gardener. But next hour, Tech Vibe Radio and the annual Christmas show on Catholic, of course, Education Plus with Father Tom Burke. It's your Pratt Pack. David's coming up next.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
Construction on PennStart, a testing track for autonomous vehicle companies and emergency responders. Commencing. President of RIDC, we have Mr. Don Smith.
And it's a partnership to really bring this testing environment that'll help keep the jobs from companies like Aurora and Stack and Motional here in the region.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
Have a house you're ready to sell? Ryan Shalaba here with the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh, and I want to make your next home sale the easiest one yet. Over a decade in business and 175 plus 5-star reviews, we've helped people in all different situations get the most money out of their house when they need it. We'll save you time, money, and stress, and we'll even help you move. Call 412-500-9057. We'll get you a cash offer in as little as 24 hours. That's 412-500-9057 or visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com today.
At AHN, we see you juggling 100 things at once. That's why we made it easier to book with the doctors you need. With AHN online scheduling, you can book with your primary care provider or get time with a specialist. Visit ahn.org/schedule, answer a couple of simple questions, and search for providers, locations, and times that work best for you. Easy online scheduling. Because at AHN, we see you.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 18 degrees at 6 o'clock. I'm David Ballarado. While the snow has stopped, many people are awakening to a 1-2 punch of several inches of snow and very cold weather conditions. In fact, temperatures aren't expected to hit the 20-degree mark at all today. A winter storm warning remains in effect until 1 p.m. The AccuWeather forecast is coming up in a moment. And drivers take note, PennDOT just moments ago lifted speed reductions on several major highways. The speed limit that had been reduced to 45 lifted in certain areas. They've been removed from I-79 from 76 to West Virginia and all of 279. I-376 from the Turnpike to PA Turnpike, I-76, all of 579 has been lifted as well. As the temperatures drop into the teens, the city is helping those who are in need. News Radio KDK's Margot Rensel explains.
City Parks is activating 5 healthy active living centers as warming centers today from noon to 6 p.m. Press Secretary Olga George told KDKA Radio what people can expect.
There will be snacks. People will be able to play games and socialize and be very warm in the building.
The centers are located in Beachview, Greenfield, Homewood, Sheridan, and Southside. Margot Rensel, News Radio, KDKA.
Bill Vernon area school districts say police are busy investigating a series of social media threats involving Ross Draver Elementary School, and there will be extra police on hand when students are scheduled to return to the classroom tomorrow morning. The school district says the move comes after they started getting a series of Safe to Say reports after the school day on Friday regarding social media and group chat comments about the school. The district is encouraging students to report anything suspicious they see and also ask parents to keep an eye on what their kids are doing and saying online. Authorities continue to search for the person responsible for killing 2 people and wounding at least 9 others during a shooting at Brown University. The shooting took place at an engineering building where students were taking their final exams. Lisa Biggs is a professor at Brown University and spoke about her actions.
We got people moved in a secure location, that we alerted the Department of Public Safety that we were in the building, we made sure the doors were locked, and then we barricaded ourselves in.
Police in Australia say 10 people were killed in a shooting at Bondi Beach in Sydney, including a gunman. Another shooter has been injured and is in police custody. 12 police have been taken to the hospital. This man is named Finn. He's a Canadian backpacker who was there.
People are screaming, there's a shooter, stuff like that. So we kind of turn around and just start sprinting, and everybody that was in front of us sees us and other people, and they start running as fast as they can.
And on a happier note, a man who made millions of people smile over his lifetime celebrating a milestone birthday this weekend.
Actor and comedian Dick Van Dyke is 100 years old.
I have no idea why I'm here, but I can't be more thrilled.
That was Van Dyke when he was honored by the Kennedy Center in 2021. From The Dick Van Dyke Show,
starring Dick Van Dyke,
to Mary Poppins,
it's a jolly all the night with Mary,
to playing a physician sleuth on the TV series Diagnosis Murder. Dick Van Dyke has been entertaining us for a long time.
I've been in the business 75 years. I can't believe it.
That was last year at the Television Academy, so it's 76 years now, Dick. I'm Donna Warder.
KDKA Sports, a rough night for the Pens and Pitt basketball. Rob Pratt will have sports in a moment at 6:03. Time to get ready to roll at the Bocce House of Pittsburgh at RIDC Park, where great food and great drinks meet even better company. The AccuWeather forecast is next.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Snow comes to an end overnight, but clouds remain in place as it turns colder after 3 to 6 inches of snow with a low of 12, followed by more intermittent snow and flurries for Sunday and into Sunday evening, but colder with a high of 17, then cloudy and cold Sunday night with a low of 13 before a few flurries on Monday, high 21. For AccuWeather, I'm LaTroy Thornton, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
News Radio, KDKA, Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-1 set winners over number 12 Purdue. They're headed to the Final Four. Pitt basketball not as fortunate. They lost to Villanova 79-61. Elsewhere in regional hoop action on the collegiate level, it was Ohio State defeating West Virginia 89-88. Penn State, Michigan State. Penn State loses to the Spartans 76-72. Robert Morris, a winner over Toledo 75-70. The Dukes in Nevada, they lost 78-75. In overtime, it was the Pens losing to the Sharks 6-5. They take on Utah today. College football, Mount Lebanon native Eli Heinrich scored, and Navy had a thrilling 17-16 win over Army. Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. He, of course, from the #1 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, and the Steelers in Miami tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. More sports, 93.7thefan.com.
The following program was pre-recorded.
The following is paid for by the Pittsburgh Technology Council. Information on the program is intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information aired on the following program.
This is Tech Vibe Radio. It's your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation ecosystem. Tech Vibe is brought to you by the generous support of Compunetics at Compunetics.com, Chorus Call at ChorusCall.com, Highmark at Highmark.com, Huntington Bank at Huntington.com, the Kindling Culture Agency at TheKindlingAgency.com, PNC Bank at PNC.com, Savior at Savior.com, and Studio Me at StudioMeProductions.com. Tech Vibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank Studios. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm so happy you dialed in, tuned in right here to Tech Vibe Radio. This is the place where we give you that front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation ecosystem. And of course, I'm your host, Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council. And time is moving by quick, and we're into December, which is just like, wow, I'm really excited for 2026. But in December, we like to kind of pay a quick homage to some of our newest members that joined the Pittsburgh Tech Council. You know, we're a place where you can join up and connect into Pittsburgh's tech sector across so many ways, whether it's business development, whether it is advocacy, whether it's visibility, like stopping by our Tech Vibe radio show here, or trying to find new talent. But we have some new members that just joined us. I'm going to start with our list just real fast. We got some companies like About Objects, Adsekis LLC, Bluestone Communications, Brady's Bend Underground, Brunk Industries, Chartiers Houston School District, ChemDAC, pay attention to that one real fast, everybody. Huth Technologies, Keystone Flow, Mac Business Solutions, M Powerhouse of Greater Pittsburgh, Perkins Eastman, Propellus, ServiceNow, South Park School District, Strategy Robot, and Studio Me. That's just from the past month. We've got some great members. We love having them join up. That makes our voice stronger. Now, you heard me say a name called ChemDAC, and I happen to have them here on the show with me today. I have Alex Hilker here today. Alex, I'm so excited to talk to you because the more I've learned about what ChemDAC is up to, I'm like, wow, you guys keep people safe. You're part of this like Pittsburgh heritage of doing safety around here. So I am so excited to learn more about your story because I think there's some tremendous things going on. So welcome to Tech Vibe today.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. It's awesome to be here. I'm thrilled to be on the show and appreciate your time. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah. So first off, I always like everyone to know if they go to chemdac.com, and that's CHEMDAQ.com. Great way to go there and check it out, read some of your success stories, and just see some of the basic technologies. Just a great way for people to connect and so forth. And you guys are hiring, so there's some jobs up there too, which I think I love when companies are hiring. So let's just start off with so our listeners just understand what ChemDAC does. I mean, I could read a little description, but that's no fun. You're there every single day doing what you do.
Yeah. So I appreciate you asking. So at ChemDAC, I always like to start with our mission. We're a very mission-oriented company, and our mission is very simple. We work to empower our customers to eliminate workplace exposure to toxic chemicals. And I always focus on that first word in our mission, empower. Because we are not a transactional company. We have no interest in selling you a gas monitor, a sensor, and saying good luck.
See you later. Let's know how it works.
We are all about working with our customers in a partnership fashion, helping them to solve their problems and ultimately keep their team members safe, because we're a worker safety company. We happen to be a gas monitoring company, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that people that are working around sterilant chemicals and disinfectant chemicals each and every day to protect us and to protect patients in hospitals and to keep our food safe.
Yes.
We want to make sure that they're safe and they can live long, happy lives and healthy lives and go home to their families at the end of the day healthy. And so that's what we're all about. You know, we're really fortunate that our products are applicable across a wide range of industries. So healthcare, hospitals, sterilization companies, food and beverage companies, even third-party logistics companies and warehousing are all using our products every single day. So it's pretty cool.
That's interesting. And not just that, but it's around the world as well, too. Yes. I mean, you just came back from Japan the last time we checked. You were telling me some cool stories there. But that's for another show.
Jet lag, Jonathan, but we'll get through it.
Absolutely. But I'm just so impressed because you're part of this like family of companies here that we have in Pittsburgh, like the MSAs, the Industrial Scientifics that are out there to provide safety to workers that are out there. But what you do is just so niche, which I think is so interesting. And that's why I love having guests like you on the show, because we get to learn about these things that we probably wouldn't know. Someone could probably drive past your office and have no idea that you're saving lives out there, right?
Yeah. Well, and you know, there's a lot of gas detection companies out there. You mentioned Industrial Scientific and MSA. Most of the companies around the world that do gas detection, they'll monitor for dozens, if not hundreds of chemicals.
Right.
At ChemDAC, we do 3.
Okay, what are those gases?
So ethylene oxide, which is the most popular and the most powerful chemical sterilant known to man. We can get into that later.
Nice.
Hydrogen peroxide and parasitic acid. And I think some people would be surprised to learn that was a choice. It was very intentional to focus on those 3. They're hard to detect. They're used across a lot of applications, like I talked about. And they've got some serious health implications if you're overexposed.
If you're exposed to them, right.
And the challenge with 2 of those, ethylene oxide and hydrogen peroxide, is that at low levels, they're imperceptible.
You wouldn't even know you're being impacted by it until maybe it's too late or it does something where it's like, whoa.
Right. If it was in the room right now, you and I would have no idea. And a lot of the concern is chronic exposure over time.
Over time, of course. Yeah.
Well,
you see that.
Low levels.
Exactly right.
So it's something that is critically important to understand so that you can control and mitigate that exposure for your employees and your team members each and every day.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're very intentionally, you said just around these 3 chemicals. When did you guys actually open your doors to begin doing what you do?
So actually next year we'll be celebrating our 20th anniversary as a corporation.
Oh my goodness, okay.
But ChemDAC actually precedes that by about 10 years as ChemDAC Corporation.
Gotcha.
And so my dad actually started ChemDAC about 30 years ago, maybe 35 years ago. He might not want me to say that. But
he's like, you're aging me, son. You're aging me. Right. It's like, it's okay, Dad.
But what's really interesting, I love telling the story. my dad was selling medical devices into hospitals and to sterile processing departments and operating room environments. And he identified a need. He saw that there were sensors in place for hazardous gases and medical gases that were being used in procedures and things like that, but they were not continuously and simultaneously monitoring, and there was no integration. You weren't able to have this common operating picture of what does the safety in my department look like for these chemicals. And so our first product at ChemDAC, before it was even ChemDAC, was a data acquisition system. That's where the DAC comes from in ChemDAC.
Gotcha.
Data acquisition.
Okay, nice. All right.
And from there, it's not a big leap to say, well, okay, we're integrating this data from other people's technology. Why don't we create our own monitors that are easy to use, easy to understand? And then we took it even further with our sensor exchange program, which takes the hardest part of gas detection for our customers out of the equation, and that's calibration. So there's nothing that our customers have to do. Through our sensor exchange program, we actually calibrate right here in Pittsburgh.
I love hearing that. Yeah, very cool.
Send those sensors directly to our customers around the world. We're on 5 continents.
I love hearing that.
Which is awesome. This little company in Pittsburgh with this global reach. And all customers have to do is unplug their expired sensor, plug the new one in, send it back.
They're good to go. They're not thinking about it. You're handling all the hard work, which is kind of scary because, literally you have people's lives in your hands. But that's why it's a tough problem. That's why you guys do what you do. Simple as that. We only got a minute or so left before break. And before we jump away, I just love the fact that, that you found this very niche market to get into, but it impacts so many lives. What has you interested? I mean, it must be really fun for you to come to work every day. What gets you fired up to be like, I got to come in here? Because I'm thinking,
The thing that I get most passionate about is just the education and the awareness.
Really?
Because this is something that, unfortunately, people don't talk about a lot because the focus is patient safety, food safety, making sure that people are not impacted by the germs and the bacteria that these chemicals that we monitor are designed to kill. And so being able to help people understand that there's easy ways to understand your environment and keep your team members safe, that's what gets me going.
Oh, super cool stuff. We're taking a quick break. We're coming back. In case you just joined us, we are talking to Alex Hilliker of ChemDAC. Go to ChemDAC, that's DAQ.com. We're going to talk more about your sensors, how they work, some of the companies that use them, and the fact that it's all coming here from Pittsburgh. So much fun. This is Jonathan Kirsting. I'm with the Pittsburgh Technology Council, and if you go to pghtech.org, find the 4 ways we can help your tech company succeed. And 2026 is almost here. Think about joining us in 2026. ChemDAC just joined us. And look, they're here on the air with me right now telling their story. So much fun. We'll be right back.
Studio Me Productions is a full-service video production company based in Pittsburgh. It offers custom video production services, podcast studio rentals, and communication studio build-outs. Choosing Studio Me Productions means investing in a partnership that values creativity and delivers results that exceed expectations. With a deep understanding of marketing and storytelling, Studio Me ensures your project will captivate and engage your viewers. Learn more at StudioMeProductions.com. That's StudioMeProductions.com. A strong work culture is the invisible force that binds employees to each other, to the company, and to their work. It's linked to better business outcomes, happier employees, and increased retention. How we work and where we work continue to evolve in almost every way, yet our human need for connection and purpose remains. Help your employees connect and thrive by evolving your culture to support your team, regardless of how or where they work. So discover how the Kindling Culture Agency can transform your company's culture at sparksomething.big.com. That's the Kindling Culture Agency at sparksomething.big.com. Compunetics is the leading developer of unified voice, video, and data collaboration and conferencing applications for the service provider, government, and unique workflow applications. The Summit Olympus and Evergreen platforms, driven by their encrypted user interfaces, enable powerful and secure collaboration. Combined with world-class support and innovative professional services, Compunetics delivers the right solution every time. Learn more at Compunetics.com. This is Tech Vibe Radio, your front row seat to Pittsburgh's technology and innovation economy.
Tech Vibe is brought to you by Compunetics at compunetics.com, Chorus Call at choruscall.com, Highmark at highmark.com, Huntington Bank at huntington.com, Kindling at thekindlingagency.com, PNC Bank at pnc.com, and Savior at savior.com. Tech Vibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank studios. So glad you're spending Sunday morning right here with me. This is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council. And Tech Vibe Radio is your absolute positively front row seat to learn about cool companies like Chemdak here today. Having so much fun hanging out with Alex Hilliker of Chemdak. Alex, thanks for being here. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for being here with me today. I really appreciate having a great time learning about your company and how you're saving people's lives.
Yeah, likewise. This is awesome, Jonathan.
Fun stuff. Let's just jump into like who's using your product and how it's actually working. I think a good old case study sometimes just hits the spot on a Sunday morning, you know?
Sure,
if everyone's out there, pour some extra coffee right now because we're going to hear a story from Alex about how their technology saves people's lives.
There you go. Well, so you mentioned the companies that are using our products. You know, we're this small company in Pittsburgh that some of the biggest and best known companies in the world across healthcare, medical device, food and beverage, all using our products each and every day. I'll give you a couple specific examples.
Let's jump in. Absolutely.
So in hospitals, hydrogen peroxide, vaporized hydrogen peroxide, is the most common sterilizing agent for heat and moisture sensitive items today. Used to be ethylene oxide, now it's hydrogen peroxide.
It's like something they can't throw in an autoclave.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Is that what I'm thinking? Okay.
Exactly. And so the great part about that is hydrogen peroxide is a very effective sterilant. The bad part is the same properties that make it an effective sterilant make it harmful to us if we're overexposed.
Yeah, if you're breathing that stuff in, it's probably not doing a lot of good for your lungs,
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. And so the way that hospitals around the country use our technology is they'll put a sensor on top of that sterilizer. They'll open the door at the end of a load to see if there's any residual hydrogen peroxide left in the chamber.
Interesting.
So they'll look
Okay.
at our monitor. They'll see if they get a reading. If it's 0, which we hope it is, they can feel free to reach in. They're not going to be exposed to that chemical. They can pull the load out, go about their day.
Okay.
If they get a reading, maybe they need to address some preventive maintenance on that machine. Maybe they need to increase some ventilation in their department. Maybe they just need to alter their work practices to make sure they're not, being acutely exposed to levels that can be dangerous at that short term.
And more importantly, don't open that door until it says 0.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Because I'm thinking about somebody who's working in a hospital in that capacity. That's probably something they're doing day in and day out.
Each and every day, multiple times a day.
And if they're opening up and not even knowing that there's still some residual gas in there, each time they're getting a little bit of exposure, and that can build over time, and all of a sudden it could develop some sort of chronic problems or impact their health quite seriously, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Each and every day this is happening, all day, every day. And, I think that, we always use the analogy that our monitors are like smoke detectors. You hope they never go off.
I like that.
But
right.
you're sure glad that they did if there's a fire.
Exactly.
And so, we're not the company that's telling you not to use the chemicals, not to sterilize. We just want you to do it as safely and effectively as you possibly can.
That's what it's all about. I mean, that's where I get excited about it, because the thing we get really jazzed at the Tech Council is when we see technology that's literally saving people's lives, or just making sure that people just stay safe. All that kind of stuff is it's that extra level as far as we're concerned. We just like that kind of stuff. Give me another example of how you guys work in the industry. I know you're in the food industry. I know there's stuff with like bottling and things like that. Tell me.
Yeah, sure. So the drinks that we consume every day, for example, take like cartons of milk that are in kids' lunches and in cafeterias and things like that. Those are sterilized with hydrogen peroxide. Bottles, like for bottles of water, are sterilized with a parasitic acid mixture. Parasitic acid is sprayed directly on poultry and chickens and beef and swine to kill foodborne illnesses like salmonella and listeria. The vapors from those chemicals that are used for that sterilization and disinfection can be harmful to us if we're overexposed. So we'll put our sensors and our monitors throughout a facility, or we'll provide portable monitors to our customers to help them better understand where those levels might be unsafe and how to change their work practices or their systems around their facility to mitigate that exposure.
That's what I'm talking about, keeping people safe and making sure keeping them safe while they're able to keep us safe, right? Because they're dealing with the chemicals that allow us to have milk in a carton, things we take for granted. But
our customers do some of the most important work in the world.
That's what I'm
they're
saying.
supplying food and drink to us. They're keeping patients safe by sterilizing medical devices. They're warehousing and distributing medical devices around the country. I mean, it's critical what they do. And we owe it to them in a lot of ways to make sure that they're safe while they're doing it.
And that's what you guys do. That's your bread and butter.
That's right.
I'm assuming there's another company out there quite like you, the way that you work.
We're very, very unique.
You have to be.
And there's really only a couple of companies in the world that do what we do at the scale that we do it. We're the best, obviously.
Of course you are, man. Come on, from Pittsburgh, for crying out loud.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're, that focus and that innovation, we've come a long way in gas detection from that canary in the coal mine, right? That focus is what sets us apart and makes us great.
The thing that really jumped out at me earlier in the show when you mentioned the fact that you calibrate these things, that I didn't realize that these devices have a shelf life and they got to come back so they can be recalibrated. Right. And the idea that you can do this without them missing a beat is really cool. And you just opened up a calibration center, you were telling me before.
We
is that
did.
something we talked about on break real
fast?
fast?
First ever calibration franchise outside of Bangkok, Thailand.
Okay.
To support our customers in Southeast Asia and Japan.
This explains your trip to Japan and the Pacific Rim just recently.
We're super proud of that.
Yes.
I mean, we're able to provide regional support to our customers in that part of the world, which is critical to our growth and scale as a company.
I was going to say, I think about an addressable market. I mean, obviously this is worldwide stuff, but to be over there has to make just total sense. And so now you can do your recalibrations there as well too. But you also do some recalibration right here in Pittsburgh, you were saying, right?
We do. We've got a full team that
How awesome is that?
All day, every day is calibrate our sensors to a very high degree of accuracy.
I was going to say, it has to be.
It's a lot of the regulations around exposure to these chemicals are sub 1 part per million, which is very minuscule.
That blows my mind. Like, how do you detect 1 part per million? It's like, where's that part?
It's critical for customers to be accurate, but also to be specific. Really what sets ChemDAC apart from other gas detection companies is we have patented filter technology that goes over our sensors to mitigate cross-interference from chemicals like alcohols and carbon monoxide.
I never thought about that. Other things in the environment can maybe fool that sensor. Interesting.
That's right. So false alarms are not good in gas detection.
Right.
So that's where ChemDAC excels, is selectivity of our sensor technology, and that's really what sets us apart from other companies.
I can imagine. I mentioned earlier that it was 2026 is upon us, and I'm feeling like you guys are just hitting your stride in so many ways here.
Yeah,
what are you most excited about moving into next year with? I feel like you have some good things maybe that'd be cooking and keep growing on and stuff like that.
We do. So you mentioned we're hiring.
Yeah.
And we're also from an innovation standpoint.
I love hearing that.
We, for years and years, we've been a gas monitoring, gas detection company, not a control or abatement company. We've been working in the background the last couple of years on a really exciting new product to help control one of those chemicals throughout the supply chain. It's something that hopefully when I come on next time we can talk in a little bit more detail.
Yes.
But it's taking that level of safety, really, really up to the next level.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to that.
I love it. Well, of course, you have the open door policy here, the OPD at Tech Vibe to come back because we want to hear about how you're growing and moving. I'm sure as you release these things in 2026, it just adds to your business in such a good way.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why we want to put a highlight on that for you. Yeah, that sounds. I'm very excited for you guys. This has been just so fascinating. I always hate it. I'm like, man, our 22 minutes goes by just entirely too fast when we're telling great stories like this. And so, Alex, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me here on Tech Vibe today.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. I look forward to coming back.
Without a doubt. Like I said, open door policy for you there, Alex. Not everyone gets that. It's all good stuff. And just to remind everybody to learn more about this really fantastic company. I think some of their case studies are really interesting. Go to chemdac.com. That's CHEMDAQ.com. And after that, go to pghtech.org and check out the ways the Tech Council can help your company succeed in 2026. Because like I keep saying, Alex, it's right around the corner. Oh, man. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be so much fun in 2026 because we have more Tech Vibe Radio coming your way. Everyone, have a great weekend. Of course, anytime you want to grab more Tech Vibe, just go wherever you get your podcast, look for Tech Vibe, download, listen, learn a lot about Pittsburgh. See you next week, everybody. Thanks for geeking out with us on Tech Vibe Radio. Tune in next Sunday for more tech and innovation stories right here from Pittsburgh. Get Tech Vibe wherever you get your podcasts and never miss a show. Tech Vibe is brought to you by the generous support of Compunetics at Compunetics.com, Chorus Call at ChorusCall.com, Highmark at Highmark.com, Huntington Bank at Huntington.com, The Kindling Culture Agency at TheKindlingAgency.com,
PNC Bank at pnc.com, Savier at savier.com, and Studio Me at studiomeproductions.com. Tech Vibe proudly broadcasts from the Huntington Bank Studios.
The preceding was paid for by the Pittsburgh Technology Council. Information on the program was intended to solely further the public's general knowledge about the product. Opinions expressed should not be relied upon for any purpose by any member of the audience. News Radio KDKA does not guarantee the accuracy of any of the information heard on the preceding program.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
It's 18 degrees at 6:30. I'm David Ballarado. Expect cold weather today. The forecast is calling for an occasional flurry, but the high temperatures are not expected to hit the 20-degree mark today. A winter weather advisory is in effect until 1 p.m. We'll check the AccuWeather forecast in just a moment. State police continue to investigate an officer-involved shooting. This began with a stolen car chase around 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. Police say the driver failed to stop when they turned on their lights, and the vehicle was abandoned on Crane Avenue in the city. Police say the driver then fled on foot, and it was at that point that an officer fired a shot, injuring the suspect. That suspect was then treated at a local hospital and released into state police custody. Authorities continue to search for the person responsible for killing 2 people and wounding at least 9 others during a shooting at Brown University Saturday. It took place at an engineering building where students were taking their finals. Quinn Miller is a freshman.
Right when it happened, right when it started, I immediately texted my mom.
And police in Australia say 10 people have been killed in a shooting at Bondi Beach in Sydney, including the gunman. Another shooter has been injured and is in police custody. 12 people have been taken to the hospital. Finn is a Canadian backpacker who was there.
Cars were going everywhere, people's belongings everywhere. People jumping with the cars, grabbing their kids, trying to get to safety.
KDKA Sports, Rob Pratt will bring you up to date in just a moment. AccuWeather says it'll be cold today with a high of 18 degrees, and we may see some additional snowfall later on in the evening. It's currently 18 degrees at Pittsburgh International. The next news at 7. I'm David Ballarado on the voice of Pittsburgh News Radio KDKA.
News Radio KDKA Sports.
Sports brought to you by Coons Market with 8 locations to serve you better. Big win for the Pitt volleyball team as they were 3-0